welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica and today I will be doing a Wip Chat. If you're new here and you don't know what WIP stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what that means is that you can bring out your own whips, or you could do, goodness, this cat's already making the table shake. Sorry. So you can bring out your own projects, or if you want, you could do whatever it is you want and just sit around doing absolutely nothing while you listen to me ramble about what's been going on in my week. Hope you guys are doing well. This video is going to come out just a little bit later because I am doing it on Tuesday, but it will come out on Tuesday as well. Had a lot to do, and I'll save that for next week. But I'll talk about all of last week. But so far, I am a little over, almost at the halfway mark with my diamond painting here. So I am hosting the Chrissabug Along. And this is for the entire month of April. So you guys, if you want to join, you can still join in. But what I am working on currently is Goddess of Night. And I am not prepped. I literally came home, sat down, started setting up kind of thing. I was like, okay, we got to do stuff. But anyway, yeah, this is Goddess of Night by Chrissabug, and it is a square diamond painting. It's 56 by 71 centimeters or 22 by 28 inches. And there are 48 colors in this, with originally 4 ABs, but I do have some specials, which I will, if you guys are interested, I do have the list here of all the specials that I am adding to it. Thanks to Alyssa. She was such a big help with everything. I am so grateful because this is turning out so good. I had to stop over the weekend, honestly, and I'll tell you why. But let me start getting set up. But unfortunately, we are in a color blocking section, so I think I will put this over. Since I am color blocking, this will go over here for now. But this is a nice little tray to work on and everything. But I will link everything down below that I'm using. So since I'm doing a lot of color blocking, we're going to go with this tray today. But yeah, last week was spring break, guys, and as you can tell, I didn't even get a chance to do my nails. I have a broken nail over here. It's been a week. And you think you get to sleep in on spring break? No, that is not the case. It is not the case. Ooh, let me see if I can show you at least a little bit of what I have done. I'll zoom out a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. Can we not? Just zoom out just a little bit, and then I just move this down a little bit for you guys so you can see everything I've done over here. So yeah, I had to slow down a little bit because I wanted to make sure that, and let's go quickly back to this normal spot. Okay, so anyway, so I had to stop for over the weekend. I slowed down and then I stopped because I was like noticing if I continued the way I was going to be done before April 26th, and I wanted to have this canvas going for the entire month, although I don't think that's going to be possible, and I am hitting the camera still. Okay, so this is going to be very awkward. I'm gonna move over here just slightly. Goodness. But yeah, it has been a busy week for me all last week. Like the first half wasn't too bad, but I didn't get to sleep in like I thought I would. Unfortunately, I have a son who loves to wake up bright and early, and I have to deal with that. But yeah, but overall, we had a good week. Just a very, I wouldn't say fun-filled. There's definitely parts of it that was fun, but a lot of it was just very busy and hectic. So we kind of, let's see. So let me see. First off, before I kind of go into my week, did you guys see like what was going on over at like Diamond Art Club last week on their new releases and stuff? Like it was not a Chrissabug, but they got me. I was not expecting to buy anything. I was like, when stuff was coming out, I'm like, okay, I'll just wish list that. Oh, that's cute. I'll wish list that. I'm trying to be good. And then they brought out the Margaret Morales, and I'm like, oh no. and it was the lunar goddess, and I'm like, well, and I looked at my husband, I'm like, I know it's not a Chrissabug, because I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to only buy my main artists and that I love and everything. And I'm like, I know it's not a Chrissabug or a moonbound bud. Can I have it? Like, can I buy it? I was like, can I just buy one, please? And then it's like, basically, I could buy something else for the free shipping. And he was going to be really nice, but I stopped. I stopped myself because he said that I could have gotten 3 diamond paintings from that week if I really, really wanted them. I really, really wanted them. I stopped myself and only got 2 because I told him, I'm like, I'm going to hold out. If there's a Chrissabug, I want to be able to get the Chrissabug. So, like, I wish listed the Amy Brown because I was like, that's so cute. But I'm like, I was kind of looking at it with the facial features and everything. I'm like, okay, you know, it's not a need, but it's so cute because it's fairies, you know. But I put it in my wish list. But I got Nico Ramen. I kind of am liking some of Jeremiah Kettner's stuff. Not all of his stuff, but I kind of like some of his stuff. I really do. And that one was too. I could not pass it up once I got the all clear to get Lunar Goddess, and it was a smaller one compared to the Lunar Goddess, so it was small. So it's like, okay, I'll get that one. So, but yeah, it was just like. I was hoping on also, because I want to show you my next part of the stash, because I only showed you 2021 stash, and I was planning on doing a recording of 2022 with some other things mixed in. It wasn't going to be full 2022 because I just can't just do only Diamond Art Club. I have to show you at least some other stuff too. But I was just so busy this week. My husband and I kind of changed the plans up a little bit over the weekend, and the plans of me recording with my daughter got kicked out the door. So anyway, but it's all for the better. It's all for the better. Hopefully I can get, I don't know if I'll do it this weekend because I'm planning on some stuff for my Chrissabug event. I'm going to be actually doing a challenge video, which is why I said I think this is going to be done before April. So I'm going to be doing a challenge video for next week's video, and I want to be able to have this ready to go. So I might not do a whip and chat of this canvas next week because I don't want you to see how much progress I do get. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, if I want to do a whip and chat, or if we can go talk about other things or something like that. I'll figure it out. Or maybe even do a nail and chat. No, I'm kidding. You guys don't want to watch me do my nails. No, you don't. This is not a nail channel. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, I was good for a split second, and then I wasn't, you know, but I was good enough where I stopped myself from going for 2-3. I just stayed at the 2. I was like, no, we're limiting ourselves. So I would say kind of good. How about that? We were kind of good. I was but I was seeing like some people showing like what their vote stuff had, and one of the artists that I voted for popped up, and I'm like, oh no, this week's gonna hurt me too, isn't it? And I'm gonna have to wish list this one. I know I am. I'm gonna have to tell myself it'll be okay, and I'm gonna just wish list it. I'm gonna just have to tell myself it'll be okay. Although I might look at my my points at this point. Points at this point. Oh man, I'm so silly. But yeah, let's see what has been going on. So, like I said, it has been a hectic week, and I feel like it isn't. There may be some weeks for the rest of this month that is not going to get any better. This week in particular is going to be hectic right at the end of the week. I have a little bit of reprieve after today. I got a little bit of a reprieve tomorrow, so I only have to. And I'm so mad because I haven't had a chance to. I was hoping to record my Chrissabug video for Thursday today. But no, that's going to be tomorrow's video for me to record, so that way it's up by Thursday. And I'm like, man, I'm cutting it close here. But at least I'll have next week's ready to go. So I'll have that. But goodness, but yeah, it feels like I've looked at my schedule for appointments, just appointments. And it's not just my appointments, it's all the kids' appointments. like dentist follow-ups and all that. And I'm just like, my entire month of May, I am just doing something every week. If I am not going out to a doctor at least twice a week, sometimes it's 3 times a week, and it's not always me. And I'm just like, oh. And on top of that, my scan is coming up next month, which is the whole point of all my doctor's appointments. So like I got my CT scan coming up, and the scan anxiety is starting to creep in, and this is the first time it's now a 6-month process instead of like every 3 months. So it's just like, okay, we're getting into the, okay, everything's still all clear, right? We're not gonna have to go back to 3 months, right? That's what I'm telling myself. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Things will be great. But you know how it is. I just start panicking. But yeah, I just feel like I won't have enough time to breathe, and I'm hoping that I will find points to do like recordings that aren't just whip and chats, because I want to do some things. I got some plans that I want to do, and it sucks that like real life is taking away those times for me to do it. It really sucks. It's like, how dare they? But anyway, so last week, so let's see, I think Monday was I cannot for the life of me remember what Monday was. I don't know if it was just like Monday I had a reprieve from everything, but Monday was unforgettable, to be honest. And then Tuesday was when everything kind of just started at that point. So Tuesday, my kid had a doctor's appointment to go to, my husband went and took her instead. So I stayed home because we had to change plans. These plans got rearranged a lot. So, but he asked me if it was okay if a couple of kids would come over and I would watch them along with along with our kids, because they were my twins' best friends. And the family, they always watch our twins all the time, like whenever the kids are asking to go over to their house, and then we make sure it's okay to do the play date and everything. And we were like, okay, and we always asked them, like, hey, just let us know, we'll rearrange a time so it can be fair. It won't be always one-sided that you guys are, entertaining our kids. We want to be able to as well. So the mom reached out and basically asked if it was okay because she had a doctor's appointment that day. We're like, yeah, sure, So like I stayed home. I watched them. I mean, for the most part, everyone was well behaved. There was a couple of moments where I had to kind of calm people down. She told me like she was home and to let her know when it was okay to come over to pick up the kids. But I decided to let them stay for a few hours because they always let the kids stay so long, and I just wanted to give her a moment to have some rest and quiet, spend time with just the baby that she has and everything. So I kept them till I think I kept them like 4 or 5 hours. So until it was getting closer to like time for dinner, and then it was just like, okay, you can come over and get your kids now. And at that point I looked at my husband going, I'm done. I'm tired. Cause they spent a long time over at, sorry for bonking the camera. I am so sorry. He spent a while over with, Nicole's doctor, and they were talking for a while. Plus it's a bit of a distance, and then on top of that they were told that they got a phone call where they had to go to a different location because apparently the power went out. So that was just like changing things all over on the fly yet again. Like, oh my god, right? Like it seriously was ridiculous. I was like, oh my goodness. And then let's see. So Wednesday was a very special day for all the kids. So like I said, we were I had them do some I remember what I did on Monday. So Monday was the start of my spring cleaning session. That's why it wasn't very memorable with everything else going on. Monday was my spring cleaning session because I had to put a pause onto that because I started it, and then like when I was told that we were having company, I had to stop what we were doing, and then I didn't get a chance to restart all the cleaning until Friday. Now I remember. So yeah. So we got rid of a bunch of stuff already. Although the house does not look like it because it's gotten rearranged. So, and I gotta start organizing again, and I'm just like, at this point I'm just like, I'm taking a break. That's what was happened yesterday, like with everything that had happened and moved and rearranged. I had to take a mental health day. I did not even touch a lick of my diamond painting at all. I was just like, I can't, I'm not, I know there's so much color blocking, but I can't. And I do apologize that I am on a fully color blocky section, but you know, it's okay, it's all right. It's easier for me to be able to talk to you guys instead of changing colors and then going, oh, where was I? Let's see. Where was I? No, I'm kidding. So anyway, yeah, we had to do a bunch of cleaning and had to put a pause onto that. But on Wednesday, we did something really special for the kiddos. So we took them, we woke up early. This, you know, like I said, I thought spring break I would get to sleep in. No. We woke up early almost all week. And Wednesday was well worth it. We decided to do early tickets. We woke up early, almost near school time, to get ready. The kids kind of groaned a bit, but we told them that we were going to go see the movies. So we went to see the new Super Mario movie, and it was fantastic. I enjoyed every minute of it with the kids, especially seeing some of the characters that came out. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I'm like, I know that one, and started quoting things from the movie, you know, underneath my breath, like, and like Nicole's giving me the, you're so weird, Mom, look. But we were the only ones in the movie theater, which was awesome. We didn't buy any drinks or any snacks since it was so early in the morning. We just decided, and plus, you know, my son, he has a bladder of the old man, is what we kind of joke around, because he'll just like constantly go, I have to go. Like if he chugs like so much of a drink, he'll just like, I gotta go, and it's just like, dude, are you really emptying your bladder or not? So but yeah, it was just like, so we just like, no drinks, no snacks, we're gonna just watch the movie, we're gonna enjoy ourselves, and then we're gonna go and probably pick up lunch, because by that point it'll be lunchtime. And the kids, they enjoyed themselves. And Nicole was just like, meh. She's all like, it was mid. I'm like, oh, goodness. But Michael and Jana, they were definitely they were enjoying themselves. And then we went out to eat. I thought we weren't going to out to eat somewhere. I thought we were literally just going to pick something up and then go home, right? Because it was just like, my husband still has to work and everything. He took some time off, but I was just like, he has, I know he has to go into work, and start up. But he goes, no, we got time. We're gonna go and sit down and eat together, which was nice, because we don't really get to do that all together anymore. So it was really nice to be able to sit together and kind of joke around. I was very surprised at my son. He wanted to order a salad. He ordered a salmon salad, and I was like, are you sure? He goes, yes. I'm like, okay. We weren't gonna argue. And then of course Jana's like, pizza. And I'm like, okay, pizza, sure, you know what, sure, And then Nicole, she was like, kind of, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know what and I started making some suggestions, looking through the menu, but I was just like, you do whatever. I know exactly what I want, because it's been a while since we got to this restaurant, and I wanted a shrimp po' boy. So, and she goes, what's that? And I point to the description to her, and she's like, ooh, that sounds good. I'm like, it is. I thought she was going to get the Monte Cristo, honestly. But nope, she went with, it was so funny, because, I had we got Michael's order put in, we got Jana's order put in, and then it was my turn for my order, so I place my order in with the fries and everything, and then Nicole pipes up and goes, actually, can that be 2? And then my husband goes after that, actually make that 3. I'm like, okay, everyone's following my lead, apparently. It was so funny, because I thought he was gonna go get something, like with steak or whatnot, or whatever, like a hamburger kind of thing. But nope, he went with the same thing I got. It was so funny. But he got loaded fries. I decided not to get loaded fries, and neither did Nicole. And we were just like, it was really nice having her sit next to me. I had Michael on the other side of me, and we were just like we were just enjoying ourselves, having a good time, talking about the movie and just laughing and everything. It was a good time. I really wish we could do more moments like that. And I think we're not going to get into any specials until right here, because this is the part where her clothes are. Darn. Okay, well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm just glad that we were able to do this. Let's see. What's making sure everything's good? Okay. So, let's see, Wednesday. So yeah, we did that. Came back home. I did not feel like doing anything after that, honestly. I was just like, after that, I was tired. I was sleepy. I actually took a nap because, waking up so early, it was just like, I'm tired. I want to go sleep. And I did. I slept. And it was glorious. Let's see. We did do some cleaning, but for the most part, we were starting to get things rearranged, and we started discussing about ordering a new cat tree for the kitties and things like that. We didn't yet, but we were kind of discussing it. But yeah, we were like just trying to plan out what we wanted to do. I was trying to straighten some stuff out. I moved things. It was funny. I did move stuff. Just a little bit, but not too much. I did overdo it, just a little bit. I will say that I hurt myself so much on Friday, but we'll go into that just a little bit. But yeah, Wednesday was just chilling. I cooked dinner. The kids and we all watched My Hero Academia. So I was like very pleased. It was like, okay, Wednesday morning busy. Rest of Wednesday was fine, but it was still just. It was just still another early wake up thing. And then, of course, Thursday. Oh my gosh. So I've been waking up, not waking up, like every week for my physical appointment, my physical therapy appointment. What I've been doing is I drop the kids off at school, I come home, and then in 30 minutes I turn around and I go straight to my physical therapy. And my physical therapy appointment was scheduled at the same time that it was for the last few weeks, kind of thing. So I had to go and wake up so early. The funny thing is, I actually took a shower the night before. I'm like, I'm not gonna bother. I don't want to wake up and try and shower and everything. I'm showering the night before, so I showered. The night before. I had my clothes picked out so that way I could sleep in just a little bit extra. I just wanted a little bit more sleep. Man, my drill placement is not on point today. All right, there's all right. We'll fix this a little bit. All right. Anyway. So I get there, right? But my husband and I made plans too. I'll tell you about that. Oh man, I was so excited. So I asked him. He said I took the whole day off. He goes, we'll work on stuff. Like he was going to make hamburgers and stuff like that for the day and everything. I'm like, okay, good. So I didn't have to worry about cooking. But anyway, so I go to physical therapy. I had fun. She and I had so much fun, and we scheduled to prolong me into May now. So at the end of May, which is why I have so many more appointments on top of my normal checkup appointments that I gotta start going into next month. But she was so pleased with my progress, guys. Like, my head's not going to tilt the way it needs to, but it was so much better. So we worked on like the tops of my shoulders and everything, and it felt so good, like after that, because it wasn't so tight anymore. And then she started doing some of the stretches, and there was actually like a pop at one point. She was just slowly pushing my head, and there was a pop. and then all of a sudden my head was able to finally move in a spot it wasn't able to move. It was like amazing. And then she had me start turning my head left and right, and I was able to do a lot more. She was like, oh my god, you're actually seeing the wall now. It's amazing to be able to see the wall when I turn my head. When before it was like I can kind of see the wall, which was still good progress compared to before, but now that was excellent progress where I was able to do that. And then be able to also have my ear touch, well, not touch, but you know, a lot more progress with my ear, with ear going towards my shoulder and everything. So she is very pleased with my progress, and I am pleased with myself. I mean, she's like, good job with your exercises, and I'm like, yay, I'm doing good. You know, so we've been working on because most of this, she says, is like scar tissue and things like that, and plus with the pain issues that I've been dealing with elsewhere in my body, she goes, well, since you don't really still feel too much pain, even though I am starting to feel, you know, have more movement, and I'm starting to have more feeling come back, which is a good thing, is what I've been told. We are trying to recognize the signals elsewhere in my body that may be telling me that I need a break from, you know, repetitive uses and stuff like that. So basically, if one of the things is because I told her I have been having like this twinge in my lower left of my shoulder blades, even though it's I diamond paint with my right, and I kind of diamond paint sometimes. Like I lean on I lean on my elbow over here to help me kind of have a bit more better posture, so I'm not like totally shrimp mode. I don't know if that's better or worse, but I'm trying not to be always a shrimp. But she's like, so yeah, when you just start feeling that little twinge, you need to stop. I'm like, so I'm not supposed to feel it all the time? Oh my gosh, the look I got. Oh my goodness. But she's like, you know what I mean. I'm like, I know. I'm sorry for making the joke. She's like, I'll give you a pass. But yeah, she's like basically trying to recognize the signals and everything. So, and I've been trying not to go crazy, although I am worried about how I'm going to be this weekend, with this upcoming weekend, because I was going to do like snacky weekend this weekend, but then we scheduled it for next week, and that's my kid's birthday. So next week, and so I'm not doing snacky weekend, but I want to get these 8-hour challenge video done, so I figure I'll just do that this weekend. And I'm kind of worried about how I'm going to be. I'm going to have to take breaks. I think I'm going to have to take breaks. I don't know if I want to do a 12-hour challenge. I'm just going to do another 8-hour, I think. But yeah, so after physical therapy, I drove home. I told my husband he didn't have to worry about driving me. I'm like, you can sleep in. It's okay. He didn't sleep in, surprisingly. Not as much as I thought he did. But let's see. So yeah, I got home, and it was I got changed into some clothes because he and I went out to eat lunch. We finally got to go out on our date, our anniversary date. So like our anniversary, when our first date was back in March. Okay, so March 17th, you know, not March 17th, anyway, March 16th, and then that's also the day he proposed to me and everything, so, it was like, oh, sweet, you know. But anyway, we didn't get to go out to eat because I had a retreat that weekend, so, and we were like, okay, we'll do something else. We also wanted to do hot pot for my birthday. We didn't get to do that, so we finally got to do hot pot, and it was so good. Anyway, so yeah, hot pot. So we get there, and my husband did not see that it was opened at 12 o'clock. I was so embarrassed. But they had the thing, like, the doors were opened, and we walked in, and then they were like, oh, we're not open for another 30 minutes. And my face turned red because I became one of those people that I tried not to be. Like, I literally thought that they were open like at 11 o'clock, and I apologized so hard. I was like, I am so sorry, you know. And I was just like, we turned around. I was like, well, they said you could sit here in the waiting area, and I'm like, no, we'll be back. We're perfectly happy waiting in the car. And I was just like, that was so embarrassing. Because usually I'm so used to restaurants, they don't open the doors until it is time to actually open up. So like, and I was just like, oh my god. And literally, like, as we were coming back out, like, it's hard to see because because the door was already open and everything, but because you can't see that it says it's open, you know, their opening hours. So, but at the same time, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. So we waited. I wanted to wait like till past 11. My husband's like, no, it's 11 o'clock. We can go in. I'm like, okay. You know, I was so embarrassed. And he's like, it's okay. It'll be all right. And I'm like, I know, but it's still, my goodness. But yeah, we get back in there. We decided we were going to try both the hot pot and the Korean barbecue. So we decided to do that. We probably won't be doing that again. Our stomachs were so stuffed. We're probably going to be like, okay, one or the other kind of thing. But it was a really nice experience to be able to do that. And, you know, cook all that food and everything. It was so good. I was so stuffed. Like, I went and like gotten my dipping sauce that I like so much. I decided I placed an order of everything because they had their tablet system was down again. So when I went and placed everything, I kind of placed one of everything except for the clams. I had to get clams. I wanted clams in my soup. And then I told my husband if he like, we can split everything down, and if we want it more, if he thinks we can eat more, please just add a thing, or not. I'm like, but I was like, basically this is all I really want for my hot pot kind of thing, and I'm willing to split it because it's a lot of food, you know. And he goes, okay, yeah, sounds good. And then he started adding some stuff too, because Korean barbecue and things like that. We did not make a second order. We did not. We were so stuffed. We were like trying to be cautious about the amount that we were ordering everything, but yeah, we didn't make a second order at all. We ate as much as we could. We almost ate everything. We didn't eat all of it, but we ate a good portion. So I was like, I'm glad that we definitely did save our we definitely didn't go too crazy. But next time we know how everything goes and everything. I mean, like, we kind of knew it by that point. We never tried the Korean barbecue experience part, so we finally did. But yeah, we think we're gonna either have to choose one or the other, because it's just like it was a little too much trying to do the hot pot plus the barbecue kind of thing. And he prefers, the funny thing is, he prefers the barbecue. I prefer the hot pot. So we got to figure out when the next time we go in, like, which one of us is going to win. Probably him. And then next time would be me. But yeah, that was a good day though. It was awesome. I loved going in and being able to do that. And then we started driving home. We were both like groaning. We did not go and stop anywhere for dessert or anything like that. We're like, nope, we're just going to go straight home. It was just like, oh my goodness. But on the way home, I got some pixels. I ordered my pixels because they had a new drop that day, and I am now really obsessed. So actually, let me see if I can show you my progress so far. So this is how far I've gone. I cannot find my sticker for this canvas that I'm working. Anyway, so here's all that I've worked on. I'm down here now. I had to stop for the day and everything. But oh my goodness, it was just let's see, it was a good experience though overall, even though I was very embarrassed right at the very beginning. But I really did enjoy myself. I laughed at one point because there was a guy that was behind Chris, and he got upset at Chris for something, because like Chris literally got up, like we placed our order. We got up to get our dipping sauce. because that's what you're supposed to do, or then like go to the buffet. We both decided we're not going to bother with the buffet area because you'll just fill up there, kind of thing. We just and everything, and then we got our dipping sauce, and we came back. But because Chris, was like, Chris is tall, okay? Chris is, he's extremely tall. His legs do not fit very well between the place. He tried his best not to make jostle too much, like he was like scooting into the booth, but like it shook the booth just a little bit, and the guy behind him got annoyed and got up and moved to a different spot. I was like, I'm sorry, sorry about that, but can't help that, right? He was like, sorry. It was funny, but at the same time it's like, okay, I get it, but at the same time it's just like, it was just a one-time thing. He's not going to be getting up and down all the time. Of course the guy doesn't know that, so but yeah, it was just that was like one of the weirdest things that happened, but overall we had fun. I loved it, but it was kind of funny. It was just like, I told my husband, like, my clothes smell like Korean barbecue. It's just, I smell meat everywhere, and I don't know if that's a good thing. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I got pixels. Like I said, I got some pixels. They came in yesterday, and I am so tempted to go start into that, but I want to finish these first, so I got just a couple more left to do, so before I open that one up, so I'm excited. Let's see, so, but yeah, I was just like, we cleaned up a little bit more, but at that point I was like tired. Usually with physical therapy, like with the TENS machine, she does like needles and electricity as well, so I get a little tired. I get a little pooped out. So I was kind of done for the day after that. Like usually after my physical therapy session, I'm usually out for the count for about 2 or 3 days sometimes. And which I've told her, she says, as long as it's not causing a flare-up, we're good, kind of thing. And it hasn't, so, which is good. So, Friday, let's see. So Friday, that was where I decided, we're going to go into the spring cleaning. We're getting into this. We're moving things around, and we're going to start rearranging things. And I hurt myself so bad, guys. It was bad. It was not good. But we went through all of the bookshelves in the dining room, and the bookshelves have 2 of them are mostly for my kids. So one bookshelf is filled with Legos and crafting things and all that. Another bookshelf is filled with puzzles and board games and all sorts of other little doodads and things like that. It does not look like we cleared out because it's still packed, but I threw away over 6 bags of stuff from that area. So we gotten rid of 6 bags because we also looked through a couple of the storage drawers that we had that was kind of nestled in between it, and we got rid of a lot of old coloring supplies, a lot of crafting materials, a lot of old uncompleted projects. We got rid of a lot of stuff, and now the table doesn't look like it's done anything because of everything else that we have done on top of it, but like we went through a big amount, and so what I did was I scooted the bookshelves all so that they're all together, and then moved the storage containers to a different area instead of the plastic storage bins, and so that way I can move the cat. So we have a cabinet for that stores the cat litter, so where the cats can do their business and everything. So I pushed it over into the other corner, so that way we had. So one of the things is, my husband has said that basically I have to move out of the office. So I'm no longer in the office with my husband anymore today. But yeah, he has the office completely to himself now. So that way for work and all that stuff. And we had to start moving things around. So I had to start moving the desk around and all that stuff. So and it's going to be a work in progress. It's going to take a lot of time, but I really shouldn't have done all that work. I shouldn't have pushed a lot of that stuff because it was really heavy, and I had the worst flare up for the rest of the weekend, and I still had to keep doing stuff, which was, I think, the worst of it. But let's see. Yeah, let's see. Goodness gracious, what else happened? Yeah. So yeah, we did all that. We rearranged the table. I rearranged the table again after all that. We got rid of some more stuff, and I think we just kind of zoned out because at that point it was like, and later into the evening, we were all tired, we were all sweaty, we were all done, and that's when we told the kids the news, what we were planning on, because they knew that they had a birthday party they were going to on Saturday, but we didn't tell them that there was also a sleepover with their friends that I watched earlier in the week. I didn't tell them a darn thing about that. I didn't want to hype them up in case things got, in case plans changed, but plans stayed the same. Jana decided she did not want to do the sleepover. They said that they made a room for her, so they were gonna have one of the boys stay in the basically these brothers, they were going to stay together in a room, and then Michael was going to sleep on the floor, and then Jana would be able to have the one of the kids' rooms by themselves, and that's way she can come over for a sleepover. But Jana's just like, I don't want to sleep over. I feel left out sometimes, which did happen when they were coming over to play and everything. They did kind of exclude her a little bit, which I had to kind of go, hey, don't forget, Jana's here too, that kind of thing. But they made sure, so we kind of brought the concerns up to this member's family, and we said, so basically we gave Jana, like, okay, you don't have to stay over. But here's the thing. How about this? You can pack a bag. You can spend the day with them after we were done with the birthday party. They were going to do dinner, and then they were going to do games and stuff like that. So I said, how about this? They're offering you to come over for dinner, play, have a game night, and then if you want, you can sleep over, or if you're not, we will come pick you up, or they will drop you off. It is your choice. And she was okay with that. We're like, okay, perfect. Right? So, anyway, Saturday comes. I was hoping I would get to sleep in Saturday, especially since my son stayed up a little bit later. Nope. He comes barreling down at 7:15 in the morning, wide awake, saying, I didn't sleep much at all. I was just too excited about the sleepover. And I'm like, I can tell. And so we were awake by that point, and I was so sad because I just wanted to sleep in, guys. I just wanted to sleep in for once during this whole spring break, and I didn't get a chance to. So we spent the whole time. My husband changed plans at that point. At that point was in the morning was when the plans got changed. I was planning to do my stash video, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do my stash video. We're going to do that. We're going to get it recorded. That way I can start having that ready for, in the next 2 weeks or so. And I bonked the camera. I'm so sorry. And I did it again. Goodness. Sorry. And then my husband's like, I don't want to go to the party. You go to the party. And I'm like, because he went last year. And I was just like, I don't want to go because it was a new area for me to drive. And I'm kind of nervous about parking in busier areas and stuff like that. He goes, you'll be fine. Everything's, it looks easy to get there, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. He goes, besides, I want to move your desks and things. And today we're going to move everything today. I'm like, today? He goes, yes, today. We're going to move all that stuff. So that's why I'm a little peeved right now, because I can't find some stuff, and I know that they moved things around, they tried to keep everything on the desk as they moved, but my like some of my things are gone, and I'm like, I gotta start looking for it, because he kind of put some of the stuff in a box, and I'm just like, that doesn't help me, that doesn't help me. I like to do things myself. um but anyway, so yeah, I was like, okay. And I wasn't really fond of going to this party. The people there, and I never really met them, but from one of the things that has happened last year was like, one of the ladies was asking if my husband was available, and he kind of said, no, I'm married, and she was like bent out of shape about that, because she had someone that, that my husband would have been so lovely to be with. She knew exactly someone that she could, match him up with, at the party, because he's so good with kids and yada yada yada. I'm like, even though she's like, he's married, it's like, right, whatever, so he didn't want to deal with that again. I was like, okay, all right, fine, I'll do this. So I had to do all the driving towards there, and telling the kids, okay, so the place was, it's actually kind of like a beach area. We don't live near a beach, but we live it was a park, but it's like by one of the big lakes that we have around here, and they considered they call it a beach kind of thing. It's, but so we have never been here because we never really needed a reason to. My husband thought it was actually just like an actual park kind of thing. Comes to find out that it's not that's not the case. It's an actual place for people to go park and then like put their boats in, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. And then there's actually a place to go play, but there's like a little beach area for you to go and sunbathe and everything. And I told the kids that they could wear their swimsuits, and we might go swimming, and everything. So I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, but it was a hot day. It was a really hot day. It was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was already hot. In fact, the rest of this week it's going to be in the 90s, guys. I'm like, it's crazy. So we get there, and the place is awesome, but I'm noticing signs that saying, park is full capacity, blah, 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 it is full, we're, turn around up ahead. So I get there, right, and they're like, basically, they're about to turn me around, and I said that there was a birthday party that we were invited to. I didn't know the lady's name. I knew the kid's name. I didn't know the mom's name or anything like that. And thank goodness Janice had texted me the invite thing, because my husband knew all the info. I didn't know the info, so because I first gave them the kid's name. And the kid's name has, the girl's name has a different last name than her mom. So I didn't know that either until I looked at the text message. And I was like, oh, how about this person? And they're like, that person? Yeah, sure. Go, they directed me to go through. I had to give my driver's license and everything to be able to park. I was like, and that's when I see that there's like fees, payment fees if you're going to go and park there and stuff like that. Thank goodness it was a reservation, for a birthday party, but it's like you would have to pay a fee for parking, you would have to pay a fee for getting in, and I was just like, okay, thank goodness I don't have to do this, but yeah, we get there. I'm looking around. They directed me to an area where there's orange cones, so we could go park. I get there, I park, and I'm like, breathe a sigh of relief, because that was to me, besides today, and I'll tell you next week's about today. I'm going to save all today's for next week, since I meant to record this earlier. I was hoping to record all of this before I left for my kid's appointment, but whatever. Yeah, like I said, but at the time, that parking I backed into was the tightest I've done, and I was just like, goodness, it was nerve-wracking. I will say that it was nerve-wracking the whole time. So yeah, I got out, we were parked, I locked up, We start looking for the shelter number. My husband gave us a shelter number that we were looking for, and I was like, for shelter 6. So I was like, okay, as we're walking, I see shelter 5. I'm like, okay, so shelter 6. So I thought I would ask some people, like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but do you know where shelter 6 is? You know, they didn't know. We start walking to the little playground area. I see shelter 1, which is the biggest one, like, and then I see like the smaller ones, which is 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, where's shelter 6? You know? So finally I go to the concession stand, and I'm like, I hate asking, but do you know where shelter 6 is? And she points to this building that does not look like a shelter, guys. A building, and says that's shelter 6. It doesn't even have the number 6 on it or anything like that. I'm like, oh, so they did not rent out a shelter. They rented out like an event area. So, okay, I get there. I'm like one of the first people there. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. You know, it's like exactly at 2 o'clock. So it's like, okay, I'm there. I see the girl, you know. Jaina is ecstatic because this is her BFF. So just so you guys know, this girl is like Jaina's best friend, like best friend, and she has not been in school for the entire year. She has now become homeschooled because she's dealing with some really cruddy illness right now that's causing her to not be able to be around as many children. Although we, excuse me, although goodness gracious, I am hoping I am not coming down with something, or if the allergies are just being bad, because I cannot. I'll tell you what happened. This is why I can't figure out if I'm sick or if it's the allergies right now. I guess I'll figure out in a day or so, because my throat has been feeling scratchy, but it's just like, and my nose is all stuffed up, but, you know, that could be allergies or, you know, whatnot. But there was a boy, like, at the party, and he was coughing and hacking and sneezing, and the parents were just like, oh, well, it wasn't the parents, it was the grandparents. The grandparents were just like, oh, he's just, you know, he just had a very hard night, and he had a very busy day. And I was like, his face is red. Well, he's been running around. I'm just thinking his face is red. And then they have him sit next to me, and this kid's coughing and hacking. And I'm just like, oh, great. You know, of course, and at this point, like I said, my daughter's friend, she's immune compromised right now. So, she's getting into the clear. Things are fine now. Things are a lot better. Like, and everything from what I've heard. It's not my story to tell. So, but she's gotten through a lot more. She's able to do a lot more than she was a few months back, kind of thing. But still, bringing someone who's, you know, sick to someone's birthday party when there's someone who's, you know, still, you know, on the mend, it's not the best idea. I'm not gonna be the judgy McJudges, and I'm not gonna say anything. You know, hey, maybe that kid did have allergies, but don't sit that kid next to me and let him hack and cough on me, please. Please. Especially since I cannot afford still to get respiratory illnesses with my issues. They don't know that though, but it's like, but at the same time, it's like, don't. I am so sorry that I keep hitting the camera. I'm noticing that it's slowly sinking down, so I think I didn't tighten it enough. But yeah, but overall, the kids had fun. They didn't get to swim in the beach area because I was just kind of looking at the water. The water was just a little murky. There was a lot of people there, and I just I could not feel comfortable because I would have been standing on the beach part, and I would have been in the hot sun, and I would have been I would not been able to do much about anything because I wouldn't have the kids able to go further into the water because I didn't have a swimsuit or anything like that. And by the point when, oh, can I stop hitting the camera, please? Please. Thank you. By the point that I got to, they didn't have the kids go play in the water at all until like the last 20 minutes. So at that point I was just like, it's not really worth getting the kids to go out to the water and then only turn them around 20 minutes later and say, all right, time to pack up, because we had a time limit. We were only allowed there from 2 to 4. So, and I didn't want to get anything, with my car or anything like that. So I wanted to be able to get home, and all that. But man, Jana was so upset about that. And I felt bad, but it was okay. But so I'm like getting everyone, packed up, ready to go. And then I see in the horizon as I'm walking to my car, the trunk is open, wide open. And I'm like, that's not my car, is it? I know I locked my car. And I'm just like, I'm feeling dread just go over me as I'm getting there closer and closer and closer, right? And I get there and it's my car. It's definitely my car. And at that point, I don't see the cooler that's in there. Like, we packed a cooler. I didn't know my husband packed the cooler in a different spot, but we'll come to that in just a little bit. But yeah, apparently as I was sitting down during the party, I was close enough to my car, like as I was sitting, I hit the button apparently to not only unlock the car, but also to open the trunk. Unless someone did it there, but I don't think that's the case. So I start dreading things. Like, I'm like, hey, my kids' instruments are here, but all my personal info is right there. Oh my God, like that kind of stuff. And I'm trying to call my husband. My husband's not answering. I'm trying to calm Jana down because Jana's throwing a little tantrum about the fact that she, has to leave. Well, she's not throwing a tantrum. She's just upset about the fact that she had to go and leave her friend. Like I said, they haven't seen each other since like not November, like October, and I get it, but at the same time, it's like, oh my God, come on, like, I'm getting overstimulated, with everything, because I was already dealing with, like, the people at the party. I do not want to go back to the party. I'm going to tell you guys that much. So I met the aunt, before I get a little bit into the car, I met the aunt that my husband was, talking about. And when I was mentioned that I am Michael and Jana's mom, the scowl that I got from her was not pleasant. Like, she was not happy that I was there and not my husband. So I was just like, she looked down at my hand. I saw her take a glance at my hand and saw the ring on my finger. I'm like, yeah, but it didn't matter, because sometimes I don't wear my ring when I go out. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. There's days where I don't wear my wedding ring because I want to keep it protected for the most part, because it can break easy and everything. So I just but it was just like, are you really doing that right now? I am hitting this. I am so sorry. Let me see if I can move my butt over here like this instead. But yeah, anyway, we're at the car, right? Like I said, I'm overstimulated from everything that went on with the party. I was just like, I felt like very much an outcaster and everything. So it was just like, and then dealing with Jana being upset and knowing that she's upset and trying to be like reasonable to her. It was a lot. And then like me going through the glove compartment, trying to see about what was there, what wasn't there, or anything like that. I'm trying to reach my husband, he's not answering, and I was just like, my mind is like, what do I do, and I'm just like, I gotta go home, I just gotta get home. At that point, my brain is just like, I'm shut down mode. We're starting in shutdown mode. I'm over it. There's too much. I can't do this right now. I want to go home. And that's how my brain went. And like, I just got everyone in the car. I tried to reach my husband a few times more while we were driving. Don't worry, I used the hands-free function. I know I started using that, like being able to use that now, because the schools love to call me when I'm driving, apparently. But yeah, I was almost home when my husband called, and apparently they were moving my desk and stuff at that point. And I told him about like the cooler is gone and everything that was happening, and that I need him to look at the car and yada 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 when we get there. And he's like, okay, calm down, it'll be all right, everyone makes mistakes. I was just so mad at myself because I just like, how I locked the car, and everything, and I know I locked it because I heard the beep like the car honk, because my husband always wants me to push the button twice and everything. So I get home. We're almost home at this point, and Jana pipes up with, could I get a drink from the cooler? I'm like, what cooler? There is no cooler. And then she goes, the cooler between me and Michael's feet. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I was driving, because my head would have just twisted so fast trying to see. So he packed the cooler, but he didn't put it in the back of the trunk. He put it like close between Michael and Jana, like instead. I didn't know this. But still, he did check everything. Everything seems to be in order, so we're good. But at the same time, it was just a day. It was a day. I get home, I see my desk, my computer desk, and the desk that I'm talking to you right now is moved outside into the living room now. The other desk that was in the living room is now in the dining room. That is now the kids' desk once I clean it, which is not going to be anytime soon. But yeah, I got home and I was just like, I broke down. There's going to be days like that. Not every day is going to be a good day. That day was just not a good day. I was just like, I think it was just like everything was just overstimulating, and I was just done, and I just wanted to zone out. And I didn't really zone out until like late that night, to be honest. And I think, and I didn't sleep very well. I don't think I slept at all that night, which was like, I was just like kind of going over all the mistakes, I was thinking of, like what I could have done, all that, all that stuff. You know how you beat yourself up. And so I get home, like I finally get like an hour of sleep before Jana comes down the stairs. At this point, like I said, there was a sleepover that happened too. So, in between of this whole thing, so like the kids get home, right? We do this. I send them like to go get showers and stuff like that, like shower up, because you guys smell like sun and sweat, because they did have fun while they were at the party. And then get your bags, and then we went and dropped them off over at their friend's house, and we're getting like picture updates and things like that. And Jana did decide that she wanted to come home that night, before the sleeping portion happened. So we're like, okay. So she got to come over, got to spend the time. She brought home brownies and cookies and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's nice. That was really sweet of them. They didn't have to do that. And let's see, I'm trying to make sure I'm not hitting the camera anymore. But yeah, it's just like, she came home and then like immediately like started getting ready to go to bed, because at that point she had a long day and I had a long day and everyone had a long day, and but yeah, I was just like, I was kind of done. And then I think Sunday and Monday Sunday and Monday I worked on cat hugs. I had cat hugs kitted up on Friday night, and I started working on it off and on throughout the weekend. And I finished cat hugs Sunday night, and then like the rest of Sunday was like me kind of starting to kit down stuff and getting things ready to move things back over here, like my Chrissabug kit and everything. But then Monday, like yesterday, like because of everything that had accumulated, I was just like, I'm just zoning out. I'm gonna stare at a wall. I played games instead for a good portion of it. I found a mobile game to play. But yeah, it was just, like I said, it was a very busy week. Like, and I did not get to sleep in like I was hoping. I was really hoping to get at least a couple of days of sleeping in, but no, didn't happen. And I know I probably might have complained about it here and there, but I mean, like, overall, we had a really good time. I mean, like, Wednesday we had that Mario movie. I had Hot Pot on Thursday. Saturday was just the worst of it. I think with everything, one thing that happened one after the other, I'm still not going to remember that scowl that lady had. And next year, if we get invited to the party, I think I'm going to tell my husband it's his turn because I don't want to go back to that. But I am going to wrap this up because I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to be constantly hitting the camera, and I don't want to do that because I was doing that a lot and it was annoying. But I am excited about some of the stuff this week as long as things go to plan. As long as things go to plan, I'm excited about what to do this week. I got a lot of things happening on Thursday, so I really do need to get my Chrissabug video done tomorrow. So hopefully it doesn't go to Friday. I'll cross your fingers. I'm pretty sure it won't. But yeah, I'm excited about what I'm planning on. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!